Hi everyone, I wanted to go over some of the basic techniques that you can use while you're meditating. There are so many different ways to meditate. Mostly for me, I like to focus on the breathing meditation. When I first started beginning, I was practicing Kundalini yoga and we did a lot of chanting meditation. So I'm going to share with you a few techniques that I've learned through yoga, through my own meditation practice, through my studies, the different techniques of meditating that I've found beneficial to me, and I hope that it'll be beneficial to you too. So what I find is very helpful for me, what we learned in Kundalini yoga, is using your hands and your fingers to track your body with your breath. So what you're going to do is place your finger on your thumb, and you're going to want to add a little bit of pressure. If you're meditating at night, do it gently and it will help you relax. But if you add the pressure to it, it really ignites that focus. So gently, just pressing one by one. And in Kundalini Yoga, we had a mantra that we said, and it was Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. And you would just play that mantra in your head as you are pressing with your fingers. And what that does is really connects the body with the mind, brings you into the present moment. You don't have to do a mantra. You can follow with your breath. So as you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, you're breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, out. 1, 2, 3, 4. You breathe in for 4 as you're using your fingers. Breathe out for 4. And you keep this pattern of your fingers. Once you hit your pinky, you want to go back to your pointer finger. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Making sure that you always come back to 1, because you are going to be practicing being aware and being mindful. If you end up counting up more towards 8 or 10 and you realize that you've counted more, just come back to 1. Come back to 1, strengthen that focus muscle, and continue to keep doing the practice. Ultimately, that helps you stay in the present moment, bringing together your mind and your body. So that's one technique. You can either use the mantra form or you can follow your breath, totally up to you. What I really like about this technique is that you can do it anywhere that you want. If you're sitting on the bus, if you are in class, it's something that you can do very easily and discreetly. You don't have to go like this. You can keep your hands at your side and very, as discreetly as you want to, just keeping your hands at your side and moving your fingers. Actually, what's a really funny thing about this is that I used this while I was getting my teeth pulled. I had my teeth pulled not too long ago, it was very recently, my wisdom teeth, and I did not have any anesthesia. I was awake the whole time, and it was intense. It was a very intense experience. So I had this hand out. I didn't care if they saw me. The lady kept asking me if I was okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm great. My mouth wide open with these pliers in my face. But I was just breathing, really following my breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I kept my eyes closed and I focused on my breath. And I was really surprised with how calm it actually made me feel. And it led me to focus more on my breathing and my hand movements rather than what was going on in my face. So I think it's really good too for people who experience anxiety like myself. You don't need anything to do it. You can just take it out anywhere, focus your breath, bring yourself to your center. This can be a really, really helpful practice for you, so I hope you enjoy it. So moving on, the next technique that I'm going to describe has to do with holding your breath. So whether you are sitting upright during your practice, or again, you can practice this anywhere, which is why this is so great. You can be in bed about to fall asleep or wanting to fall asleep. I find that this is really good for relieving stress, relieving anxiety. When I feel very, very anxious, I use this when I remember to use it, because the crazy thing about being stressed or anxious is that you have to catch yourself in that moment to apply these techniques. So hopefully this is a technique that can stick around in your head too, because I find that it's very helpful. So what you're going to do is while you're breathing, you're going to count in, just like we did with our hands, but you count in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, making sure you fill up your lungs as much as you can, inflating it like a balloon, holding your breath at the top. For 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way out, shrinking that balloon, pushing all the air out in those 4 breaths, in those 4 exhales, and holding it, 1, 2, 3, 4, before you inhale again for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're not going to do it that quickly. Do it a little bit more slowly, filling up your breath like a balloon, making sure that you have as much breath in before you hold your breath. And then as you exhale, making sure you squeeze out all of that breath very to the bottom before you hold it. And I feel, it's funny because I feel relaxed now, but when you're doing that and you're continuously just bringing your mind and your body together and holding your breath, there's something about holding it that really helps your heart rate come down. Also, when I'm going to sleep, if I'm having trouble sleeping, I will practice that as well. If you feel like you like the sets of 4, you can even practice extending it to sets of 8. So you can double that and you can breathe in for 8 counts, 8 long counts, holding for 8 long counts, exhaling for 8, holding for 8, breathing in for 8. I keep my hand on my belly and I count for 8 sets at a time. But it's definitely not something that's required. It is something that you can build up to if you'd like. So there is flexibility with that practice if you want, if you choose. But the 4 counts really is helpful and it works, especially if you are practicing it slowly. Then there is the technique that when you use what they're called mala beads or prayer beads, they come in a string of 108 beads and you hold each bead. And every time you hold the bead, you say the same mantra. Or you can say the sa ta na ma that I went over. And what mantra meditation does, it's in the same theme of all of these techniques, is that it's bringing the body and the mind together as one during your practice so you can be more present. I used to use mantras on YouTube and I would listen to the chanting, I would learn the chant, and then I would also count along with it. I found that it focused me so well. Another form of meditation that is a good technique is something that is not practiced while you're sitting, but it's a walking meditation. And the walking meditation is, you could do this anywhere while you're out. It's just following your breath with your steps. So as you start on your right leg, we learned in Kundalini Yoga using the same mantra, the sa ta na ma mantra, you would use to count with your feet. So as you went right foot, left foot, sa ta na ma. Or I don't know if you can see me, I'm like tapping my legs. So pretend that these are your feet. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 with your breath. And then again, when you start on the foot that you started with, on your right foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's really just about finding a pattern of your breath and synchronizing that with your body to bring you back into that present moment, into the center. You can do that anywhere you are. You don't have to say it out loud. You count it either if you want to keep track with your hands, like in the prior technique, or if you just want to count it in your head, and you're just taking that peaceful time, and it's exercise too. So that is also really great about the walking meditation. Okay guys, so that is all for the techniques. I hope that they help you in your practice or while you're out about during your day. Remember that it is a practice in very first, the biggest thing is that it is a practice in self-love and acceptance. And I hope that this was helpful for you. So thank you so much for tuning in and for listening. And I will see you in my next video. Peace.